Welcome back, everybody, to Photography Tips and Tricks, your show for gear, tips, inspiration, anything that you need to get photography to the next level. My name is RC, and I'm happy to have with me Chris Garrison. Now, Chris is an amazing photographer that spends a lot of time doing work with Red Bull. He's going to spend some time talking to us about an invaluable piece of gear that takes his images to the next level. But before we do, a couple of episodes ago, we talked a little bit about gels and flashes, and I kind of wanted to take you through an overall process. How do I work with my gels with those flashes? So we need gels and we also need flashes. So this is how it works. The flash, what I'll do is I'll usually put a series of different pieces of Velcro on it. So I'll have Velcro, and it doesn't matter, Nikon, Canon, whatever it is. I'll put 2 dots of Velcro, right? One on one side right there, and then one on the other side right there. So there's 2 circle dots. Now, once that's done, the flash is prepared for stuff. I'm going to take these gels and I'm going to add them to the flash, but the gels are actually these small pieces, right? I don't necessarily keep them this small. I actually use much bigger sheets that I cut from. So you'll go online to B&H and you'll get a pre-cut sheet, and the sheets are actually very, very big, right? So what we'll do is we'll take those sheets, we'll set those sheets out, I'll put those sheets on a piece of paper, and I'll pre-score and pre-cut out smaller sheets. Now, once I have those smaller sheets set up, this is what they look like, right? It's just a really, really small sheet, and on the very ends of them, we have those 2 dots. So there's my dot for the sticky side, here's my dot on this side for the soft side. So I connect all of those to that, and I'm going to tell you why. We'll go ahead and we'll just get rid of that real quick. Remember that I took this flash, and on the flash, I had the 2 dots that were here. Right? There's 1 dot there, and there's 1 dot there. What I'll do is I buy these sheets, and these sheets are quarter cut CTO. So it's a quarter cut temperature, color temperature orange. It's a small, light orange to be able to use for offset. Now, once I put this on there, you'll see it makes a pretty decent seal, and it's all set. So it's a quarter cut of orange, slightly warm. Now, what if I wanted to be a little warmer? Well, if I wanted to be warmer, remember that I took these sheets, and these sheets had that sticky part on one side of it. So it makes it a lot easier to just do what's called stacking. I'll go ahead and I'll put 1 dot on top of 1 dot. It puts it together. Now I have 2 sheets on top of this. A quarter plus a quarter equals a half. If I need more, take the 3rd sheet, quarter, puts it on top. Now we got 3/4 cut. If I need a full cut, you get the picture, right? So it sits on top. Now, what do I like about this? I like it because when I'm out on a location, I don't necessarily have to look at my sheets and go, which one's a quarter cut, which one's an 1/8 cut, which one's a half cut. They're all quarter cuts, and I'm just stacking on top of one another. 2, it's a lot cheaper because I'm buying the big sheet and I'm cutting it by myself. All I have to invest is in Velcro. And 3, it doesn't really matter. I have so many of them. I can throw them into a small bag and I can modify light as I need it. So that's what I was talking about when we were talking about, you know, putting filters and actually doing a little DIY stuff. It really does help when you're working with flash stuff. Let's do this. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we've got Chris Garrison talking to us about his piece of gear coming up next.
My style of photography as extremely focused on expression, interaction, and authenticity. The idea of it being a lifestyle photography does fit because it really is the style of how one lives their life and what they express about themselves. Specifically as it relates to a family, I want to think about the fact that I am photographing multiple people but representing them as a one. These people belong to each other, and I want to show that. Why people are coming to you in the first place. Why do they want a portrait? Life is moving so fast and they want to freeze some of it. They want to stop this and remember what it is that they're doing, who it is that they love, who they are together. This is something that when they're looking back in 20, 30 years, they can then see everything about that time in their life that meant so much to them. I'm Tamara Lackey, and I'd like to invite you to check out my class on kelbytraining.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to Photography Tips and Tricks. My name is RC, and I'm pretty excited. The one time that we can actually have Red Bull on set when we're doing stuff is with my friend Chris Garrison. Chris is a photographer for Red Bull and has some amazing, amazing work and some inspirational tips that you can keep for your photography. Chris, what do you have for us?
All right, basically I brought the hi hat with me. It's kind of my go-to accessory when I'm doing event coverage for Red Bull. With event coverage in Red Bull, I always try to look like at least 2 to 3 photographers during the coverage with getting different angles, different locations of what I'm shooting. I got a good example of what I covered here for Red Bull BC1, which is a breakdancing event that was actually shot here in Tampa. If you want to scroll to the picture here, it kind of shows the higher shot, and I'm on the ground level shooting, and this was shot up and above, and the rafters was set up before the event. Coming back into it here, basically I'll show how the hi-hat was set up for this one. I got, it was a flat ceiling up there, so basically what I was able to do is I got in before the event, we were able to screw the hi-hat into a couple of the wooden rafters up there and set the remote camera up before the event. This way it gave me access to a different angle to shoot, and I was able to shoot on ground level with 2 different cameras, getting close shots and wide angle shots and above shots. It's probably one of my favorite features for doing event coverage.
Now, what about low stuff, low coverage? Like, how does that apply? Yeah,
this is actually great. I love shooting with a tripod, especially when I'm shooting at lower apertures for lifestyle shots. When you get to a lower angle, a tripod is going to be super wide. It's going to take up a lot of ground coverage, a lot of street space. For example, if you're in New York, you're pretty much going to get arrested with shooting a tripod, especially if you're blocking the entire sidewalk. With this, you're just getting a little bit of street coverage. Get your camera on a low level, and you're going to get nice, crisp images at 1.4, 1.6 very easily.
Nice. Very, very good. So, and these are the things that I think that are very, very important when you're looking at this, right? Whether it be event coverage or wedding coverage, or you just wanting to get a different look and feel to your pictures, what you're trying to do with this is you're trying to go get low, get into a different area, and something like an Induro Hi Hat will be invaluable to do that. Now, for more information on that, make sure that you take a look at the Induro website and find out more on the Induro Hi Hat. Now, let's go to Joel Grimes. Joel Grimes has got a great tip on how to be able to keep your images sharp. Take a look at this.
Hi, I'm Joel Grimes. I'm going to give you a tip on how to get sharp images. I get a lot of emails, people saying, hey, look, I got the same camera, same lens, but my images suck. And the first thing I ask them is, are you on a tripod? And most people say, tripod? No, I don't use a tripod. Well, I come from the old school, and that is that if you have a solid platform, you're going to get sharper images just the way optics are. So here's my encouragement for you, is to find a tripod. It doesn't have to be super expensive, but one that is sturdy enough that you don't have any wiggle, and do a test. Find out that if you shoot, let's say, even at 1/1000th of a second, if you hand hold that, take a picture, put it on a tripod, take another picture, you'll discover that your images are going to be sharper. And one last thing, 2 to 3 stops from wide open is going to be your best optics on your lenses, just the way it is. Shoot wide open, you get aberration. Shoot all the way down to f/22, you get diffraction. So I would also encourage you to shoot around 5.6 to 7.1 to f/8, and it'll also give you sharper images. All right, well, that's all I have for you guys right now. If you want to know more about what I do, go to joelgrimes.com. I have some information about my blog and workshops and all that good stuff. So back to you guys at the studio.
Do you ever find yourself getting frustrated? You know, you want to make a new picture, but you just can't seem to come up with an idea? Sometimes everything you need can be right before your eyes. We don't always get the chance to find the perfect background. We don't get to go to exotic locations, but everything we need could be just round the corner. There's so many things around me, and make my own unique backgrounds. Now, of course, we don't always get to work with professional models. Most of the time, we'll end up photographing the girl or the guy down the street. But we've got our idea, we've made our background, we've got our model, All we need to do now is make a bit of a character and then put it all together. I'm Glyn Jewis. Come and see my class over on Kelby Training. Who put that there?
Welcome back, everybody. This is RC. Now, the website to watch is going to be Chris Garrison this week. Chris is a very, very humble person, but he's got some amazing, amazing work over at chrisgarrisonphotography.com. And the work that he's done with Red Bull and with event coverage is something that's really, really nice. But he's also got some great portraiture work here that I think that would be very, very inspiring to you. So make sure that you go and take a look at chrisgarrisonphotography.com. Now, that's the website to watch this week, but we also have Photoshop World. Photoshop World's coming upon us. Make sure you go to photoshopworld.com. That is the must-attend conference for anybody who's doing photography or Photoshop. It's April 17th through the 19th, and it's in Orlando. It's at the Orange County Convention Center. Remember, if you want to save $100, early bird registration is here. You want to take advantage of that before it actually goes away. Why not? $100. Now, the other thing that I usually tell people when we're talking about Photoshop World is keep in mind that the Rosen Hotel is the place where everything happens. Make sure that you book there. Make sure that you book there early. Those blocks will sell out. And that's where all of the instructors are staying. That's where all of the parties are happening. That's where you can catch up and meet everybody that you want when you're at Photoshop World. So make sure you take a look at that at photoshopworld.com. Now, other housekeeping stuff. We have Peach Pit e-deal. Now, take a look at this website. The Peach Pit website we have is peachpit.com. We have a Kelby TV deal. You can save over 40% off of this week's special deal just for Kelby TV viewers. All you have to do is use a Kelby TV code and you can get 40% off the print and the process by David Duchemin. Thank you so much to Peach Pit for offering the deal. We are very, very grateful. Now, contest time. How do we do contests? I want you to go to kelbytv.com. Then I want you to find the episode that we're looking at today. Now, this is episode 18. Go to that one episode, go to the comment section, leave us a comment. You can tell us whether or not it's something that's good or bad. You can tell us whether or not it's a specific idea. You can tell us what you thought about Red Bull. You can tell us what you thought about the hi hat. Any of these things are going to be right at this website. So go to kelbytv.com, make sure that you find that one episode. But you see this section here at the bottom? You have to scroll all the way down to the bottom there so that you can go ahead and leave that comment. So when you do, right, see, tons of comments, we read every single one of them. That's where you want to go. You want to put your name, your email, your website, and you want to put the comment that's there. When you do, what are you going to win? One of you guys is going to win a Spider Cube. If you're looking for color correction, an accurate color out of your monitor, out of your prints, out of your images, that's where it's going to be. You're also going to win an adventure photography book, Creating Dramatic Images in Wild Places by Mr. Tom Bowl. Again, great work, getting yourself into interesting places. That's the theme for this week. Guys, thank you so much for stopping by, and hopefully we'll see you guys next week here at Photography Tips and Tricks.